Come on. Test, test, test. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for joining us today for a very exciting day at FinLocker. We are going to take you through our FinLocker 3.0 mobile app reveal today. Team has done a wonderful job designing and building a consumer experience that we believe is state of the art and is going to help our lenders and partners differentiate how they engage with their customers. So with that, I'm going to start by flipping through a few slides and just telling a little bit about what we've built and kind of how our clients are using FinLocker today. So first off, consumers are inundated with financial apps, and these apps all focus on specific tasks from budgeting and goal setting to credit review, credit improvement, to getting offers and even real estate search. And one of the consistent themes with these apps is behind each of these apps is a marketplace where the consumer is then essentially sold as a lead to other financial services providers. So what's happening in that case is when your customers, your prospects, are going to one or more of these apps for specific tools, they may not come back to you. And it's likely that once they're in one of these ecosystems that they will not come back. And what FinLocker does is offers you a tool to provide your consumers all of those feature functions that they're getting from these other apps, but instead getting those under your logo in your tech stack. From a mortgage perspective, this is a slide that just shows some of the use cases that mortgage lenders, financial institutions are using FinLocker for. Today, we're going to focus most of our talk at what we call top of the funnel. So think about consumers who come into your sales funnel and they're just not quite ready. Could be to credit, DTI, lack of assets, maybe the timing's just not right, but the point is they're not ready. Or specifically, first-time home buyers. We know that first-time home buyers don't just wake up one day and become, aware that they want to buy a house. They go through a process. They plan both financially as well as emotionally for that event. And FinLocker is a great tool to use up the funnel with those consumers to help them get prepared financially for home ownership and mortgage readiness. But beyond preparing and using the locker at the top of the funnel, once a loan is closed, once you have a customer that you've pivoted from a lead to a prospect to a customer, the app is evergreen and lives on. And all of the features that the consumer benefits from at the beginning of the process live on, and they can continue to use the app. And so it becomes an extended part of your customer for life engagement. From the consumer's perspective, and we'll stay on this slide for a bit, there are multiple features and benefits for the consumer. And kind of working from 11 o'clock counterclockwise, I'll just make my way around. So consumers have access to their credit score, credit report, real-time monitoring and alerts. And FinLocker has a partnership with TransUnion that provides this credit information. And one of the areas that we're super excited about that will launch shortly after our mobile app launches is a tool within that credit widget that allows consumers to simulate credit score. So changes in their account and what it would do to a score. So we're super excited about that future feature coming down the road. Beyond credit, consumers are able to enroll their financial accounts. And when we talk about enrolling financial accounts, we're really talking about both sides of the personal financial statement, the assets and liabilities. So what kind of accounts can be enrolled in the locker? On the asset side, checking, savings, investment, 401k, even life insurance policies can be enrolled in the locker. On the liability side, it's everything from personal loans to credit cards to charge cards to student loans, mortgages, et cetera, can all be enrolled in the locker. And the data that comes from each of those enrolled accounts, which is at the transaction level, powers the financial analytics of the locker for the consumer. And that data now provides that consumer access to spending analysis. So they can see all of their spending in one place. And we call that a single pane of glass view of their entire financial life. But it also triggers and sets them up to use the budgeting tools and goal setting tools. The locker has a robust set of financial education content, highly focused on the home buying and mortgage experience. We've built a perpetual mortgage readiness assessment. This assessment analyzes the data in a consumer's locker, and that data consists of information that is contributed by the consumer directly. That's the profile information that they input into the app itself as they're setting it up. But it's also consumer permission data. So information that's coming from the credit report, as well as the enrolled financial accounts, powers this mortgage readiness assessment and gives the consumer a roadmap to where they stand with respect to being mortgage ready. And we'll show you what that looks like in a minute here. From the locker itself, consumers can begin the mortgage application process. So we're not a point of sale, but we partner with point of sale systems to pre-fill the mortgage application process. So when a consumer does become mortgage ready under your logo, in your tech stack, from their app, from their locker, they can securely start the mortgage application process by sharing over the Fannie 3-4 data set, as well as any documents they may have stored along the way, like tax returns, pay stubs, things of that sort. And then also, again, once that consumer becomes mortgage ready, from their locker, they can use real estate search. So now they can search in the locker for their dream home. So when you think about the features and functionality for the consumer that I just went through, many of those, again, consumers can go out and get from these single function apps that we showed on the earlier screen. But again, they're doing that. They're out in the marketplace behind those apps. So when they're performing these tools, using these tools and performing these functions in your instance of FinLocker, we've basically put a moat around your customer to protect them from these other financial services providers. So over the course of a consumer's life, we know they generate multiple financial events, and the mortgage is really kind of the center of the plate from that perspective. What FinLocker enables lenders to do is think beyond a mortgage transaction and think of ways to partner with other financial services providers to engage your customers and offer them value through their locker. Things like credit cards, auto loans, insurance, warranties, debt consolidation, HELOC, et cetera, are all financial products that a consumer is going to engage in over their financial life. The locker becomes kind of that anchor point for you to engage that customer, not only in that mortgage product, but in these other financial services products. When we think about the value for our client, the B2B, the business that we engage with, the lenders, financial services providers, the value to our client is really helping convert leads to loans. So you engage consumers at the top of the funnel. The locker helps you engage them in an innovative and unique way and helps you convert those consumers, those leads, into transactions. And for the consumer, it's providing financial well-being, but giving them hyper-personalized analysis and insights, product offers, et cetera. Again, all under your logo in your tech stack. So what is FinLocker 3.0? What have we been working on? So this slide shows a little bit of our current metrics around the FinLocker 2.0 mobile app that's been in the market for a little over a year. And our focus with 3.0, with a lot of feedback from our current clients as well as consumers, we worked heavily on the UI UX, and you're going to see that in our demo here in a second. But our focus is really around increasing the engagement of the consumer inside the app. So as we launch 3.0, we expect that the metrics that you see on this screen will be 2x an improvement based on not only the UI UX, but the custom dynamic journeys that consumers are taken on through the app. Some of our partnerships, I mentioned TransUnion. TransUnion is our credit provider. We built FinLocker on the Microsoft Azure tech stack. We've partnered with Fiserv. Fiserv is our data aggregation partner. And as we talk about custom, unique journeys, our recent relationship with Total Expert is going to power those consumer journeys for us. So as we get ready to kind of show you the app itself, a couple things to think about. Are you helping your prospects get ready at their point of thought, which is up the funnel, or do you engage them today at the point of sale? Are you able to serve your consumers, your borrowers, for products beyond mortgage? And if you're thinking about how to get deeper consumer relationships and create additional revenue streams, FinLocker is a tool that can help you in that respect. And then this concept of customer for life, retaining customers. We know in the mortgage industry, retention has been a challenge, continues to be a challenge. And tools like FinLocker will help lenders engage their customers beyond the closing in a very meaningful way, such that when they are ready for the next transaction, whether it's a refinance or the purchase of a new home, from that app, they can begin that process again. So what I want to do now is show you a short recording of a first-time homebuyer journey. And then once this recording's over, we're going to go into our app itself.
FinLocker is the high-tech, high-touch solution mortgage originators can use to generate leads and nurture homebuyers towards mortgage readiness. A loan officer can invite prospective first-time homebuyers to use their company's white-labeled FinLocker to prepare for home ownership. When a user identifies as a first-time homebuyer during profile creation, FinLocker creates a custom journey suggesting they enroll in credit and add their financial accounts. The spending analysis categorizes each transaction in the enrolled accounts. The user is provided with a visual summary of their spending so they can identify where spending can be reduced, pay down debt, and save for their down payment. The dynamic affordability calculator shows the user how much home they can afford, a monthly mortgage payment that fits their income, and the amount they should save for their cost to close. With 3 additional clicks, the user can establish a savings goal linked to an enrolled bank account. Going forward, FinLocker will update the user on their progress towards reaching this savings goal. The extensive library of financial education has videos and articles to prepare the user for the mortgage process and home ownership. The user can monitor their progress with the Mortgage Readiness Assessment, which perpetually analyzes their enrolled financial data. Homebuyers can even start their home search from the FinLocker app. To apply for a mortgage, the homeowner uses the secure sharing feature to send their loan officer the financial data and documents previously uploaded to their app. The shared information essentially pre-fills the mortgage application, streamlining the process for lender and borrower. After closing on their mortgage, the new homeowner continues to use their app to manage their finances, monitor their credit, home value, and equity until they are ready for another transaction.
All right, so that short recording gives you an idea of how lenders can use FinLocker, again, way up the sales funnel to engage prospective home buyers, especially first-time home buyers, to help get them ready for the home ownership, the home buying experience, but also mortgage readiness. So now on the screen, you're seeing the FinLocker 3.0 mobile app. So before I navigate through some of the screens here, this is our unbranded version of the app. So when we partner with lenders and clients, a couple things are happening throughout the experience. One, the lender's logo would be in the mobile app. And then we would also use our clients' color scheme marketing specs to have the colors in the app reflect that particular lender's environment. So again, it's a custom white label solution. We are focused today, obviously, on the mobile app side. FinLocker is also available to consumers via desktop. So all the functionality that we're talking about here is also available on the desktop. So when a consumer sets up their mobile app, and this particular locker has been set up already, the user is guided through a short set of profile questions. And what we're doing through those questions is really setting the tone for how the consumer is going to engage in the mobile app itself. So we're asking things like, what are they trying to accomplish? Are they just looking to improve their credit? Are they looking to save for a particular financial event? Are they looking to buy a home, as an example? And as they start to answer their profile, the locker starts to build a custom experience for that user based on the persona of the consumer, based on what they've told us. In the example we just saw in the video, a first-time home buyer. And then B, the attributes of that consumer, as well as their goals and objectives. So attributes could be things like, I'm a persona of a first-time home buyer, and I'm a veteran, and I have average credit, and I have a goal or objective to buy a home in the next 12 months. The locker basically brings all that data together and then creates a custom journey to start guiding the user to the various feature functionality of the app to help them meet that objective of being mortgage ready. So what I'll do is just navigate a little bit on the mobile app here. I'm sharing from my cell phone here, so this is the real deal. So the dashboard, when a user comes in, a couple things here. The user can actually customize what the dashboard look like. So I just rearrange the order of the widgets, and now when my internet catches up here, it's going to pop it back open. And when I go back to my dashboard, it just rearranged the widget, put the spending at the top. So as I navigate through, I'll just kind of call out some of the feature functionality. This widget at the top is our spending analysis. So it's an at-a-view glance at all spending for the consumer. In this case, it's through July 11th, overnight last night. Budgets and goals. So consumers can come in and create very custom budgets and goals. This widget gives a high-level overview of any budgets and goals that have been set up. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Financial accounts. So as I scroll across these tiles, these are all of the accounts that happen to be enrolled in this particular locker. So you see things like insurance, credit cards, wireless bills even, mortgage, auto loans, etc. And then credit. The credit widget provides the consumer a at-a-glance view of their credit score. This is the Vantage Score 3.0. This score updates every 30 days for the consumer in the app. And because we're just launching this new mobile app, this particular locker was just set up. So that's the first score that's showing up in here. I'm going to come back to the credit widget in a moment. Property value. So users that already own a home can track the value of their property. And in this case, this particular locker not only has a property that we're tracking the value on, but there's an underlying mortgage enrolled in the locker. So you have an at-a-glance view of the equity. And then for our lender partners, you're able to have up to 10 rotating messages or offers that can circulate through the locker here. You see me navigating through there. So these would be offers for other products and services, calls to action that you want to engage the consumer with, etc. And then finally, real estate search is also on this dashboard homepage. So now I'm going to go into a couple of the widgets quickly. I'll show you credit real fast. So if we go into the credit widget, now we're into the detailed credit report. So we can see all the alerts, any kind of inquiries, et cetera, will show here on the main page. You can actually drill into the credit report itself. There's quick links for education content. We also have links for the consumer to freeze credit and even use the opt-outs for the national do not call, direct mail, and opt-out pre-screens. They can also go into their detailed credit report and actually drill deeper into their credit report into specific accounts. Beyond credit, the next thing I'll show you is our accounts. So on the dashboard page, we had these tiles at the top. Now you'll notice as we go into the account widget, as I scroll across each account, down below, all of the transactional data from each of those accounts is showing up. So I scroll and new accounts, new data will show up. Now in that life insurance policy, there was no transactions, thankfully. So you can see quick nav, at a glance view of all transactions in one single spot. Budgets and goals. This is one of our favorite widgets in the app. So from this view, consumers can come in, they can see all of their budgets and goals in aggregate at the top of the screen. And then below, the details on any budgets or savings goals that they've established. And then real-time tracking of all those budgets and goals. And then we built a detailed budget. And this detailed budget was built and modeled after the HUD-approved housing counseling format. So this is the same budget format that's used by housing counselors up the funnel for pre-purchase housing counseling, but also as a loss mitigation tool. So we've automated the budgeting process for consumers. So once they've set up their profile, which includes their income, the locker creates specific budgets in these categories that you see here: home expenses, transportation, food and dining, etc. And if I click into one of these, it's going to open up a subset of automated budgets. And you can see here, there's budgets for groceries, restaurants, and other. And again, we've got the app suggested budget based on 3% of the income, but the user can also come in and override that by simply typing in a new budget amount and then saving that. And that becomes part of their new budget. I talked about mortgage readiness and how the locker perpetually analyzes the data in a consumer's locker with respect to being mortgage ready. And so again, going through the widget here, you can see in this case, green checks are good, but we get down to debt to income. Didn't calculate because I didn't have my income in there correctly. But I could also flip over just to pending and see any areas that I'm not yet ready for a mortgage at this point. If I go back to the other view, you'll see all the items that we're measuring. So we're analyzing credit, calculating DTI, assessing the assets in the account versus the down payment, validating employment, et cetera. So when a consumer kind of reaches readiness across all these categories, they can actually use the locker to begin sharing and begin a mortgage application process. So I'll show you that next. So I'm going to share from my locker for a mortgage. I'm just validating some income information that was in the profile. No co-borrower. And from here, I could say, if I had documents stored, I could save, share those across. But then I'm also going to share information from my enrolled accounts. So in this case, I'll share this bank account and consent to share with my lender. And now what FinLocker is doing is sending the Fannie Mae 3-4 file, as well as any documents I may have stored, to the lender. And if we have an integration with the lender's POS, directly to that POS to pre-fill and start the mortgage application process. So you can see from this app how simple it is for a consumer to securely share information from their app to their lender to start a mortgage application. And then finally, we have a set of calculators, dynamic calculators in the locker. And when we talk about dynamic, these are calculators that are leveraging the data that's already in the locker for the consumer to come in and see, in this case, how much home they can afford, the different loan products, just validating information that's already in the profile. They could change the term if they want to, from a 30-year to a 20-year. They could change the rate. Now, this particular locker is not integrated with any lender. So in some of our implementations, we would integrate directly to a lender's pricing and product engine to bring that in dynamically. But now I can see what my affordability would be. And then if I wanted to use the information here, so in this case, the locker is telling me, you can see it at the bottom down here, that I need about $45,000 between my down payment and closing costs. I can now create the goal right from the locker. Okay. I'll go back to the goal setting here and show you. I did one earlier just so we could get through this faster. So from that calculator, I can create a goal, and then that goal will be tracked towards my savings for a down payment in the widget. And then so the consumer will get notifications along the way, push notifications, email notifications. Anytime there's events, alerts, milestones achieved in the locker. So as they're progressing on a goal, if they're over budget, under budget, when we talk about mortgage readiness, as they achieve readiness, things of that sort all trigger engagement back to the consumer from the app. And that engagement's not FinLocker engaging the consumer. It's FinLocker enabling our client, the lender, to engage that consumer directly from the mobile app. So we've covered a lot. Super excited about our 3.0 release. I think we have a couple of questions, so I'm going to take a pause and
Just comments.
oh, I got comments up here. Okay. We got some positive feedback here. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, John Hill. Thanks, Mr. Kelleher. Appreciate your feedback. If anyone will stay on for a minute or two, if anybody has any questions, just shoot a comment over. As a follow-up, if anyone's interested in a deeper dive, go to our website, finlocker.com, which is also brand new. We just launched our new website to support our mobile app release. Go to our website and check it out. There's some cool demo videos there. And then if anybody wants further information, you want to schedule a private one-on-one or demo, you can go set up and request a demo via the website as well. So we have a question: how does the loan officer message the consumer? So today the app is configured with messaging that's driven off of alerts, events, milestones. It's not meant to be a direct method of communication for a loan officer per se. All of the communications, though, that happen from the locker are happening from that lender, or in this case, the specific loan officer. So the app itself is engaging the consumer on behalf of a loan officer. And as we have these custom journeys that are created, it's bringing that consumer back into the app to engage them towards their goals and objectives. Let me check and see if we have any more comments or questions. I think we're all clear. We appreciate everybody joining today. We're going to save this recording out to this event so folks can come back in and check it out. Again, if you are interested in more information about our product and how it can help you, please go to our website, FinLocker.com, and we'll be happy to schedule a one-on-one with you. And thanks everybody for joining today, and thanks for viewing FinLocker 3.0.